Welcome to our discussion on a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries, the problem of evil. Specifically, we will explore how a loving God can allow suffering in the world. This issue often begins with a fundamental question. If God is all good and all-powerful, why does he permit evil and suffering? This paradox leads many to doubt God's existence or his goodness. It's a question that not only challenges the faith of believers, but also shapes the views of skeptics and seekers alike. To address this, we must consider several key points. First, the concept of free will is crucial. God created humans with the ability to choose between good and evil. This freedom allows for genuine love and relationship with him, but also opens the door to sin and suffering. When individuals choose to act against God's will, it leads to consequences that affect not just themselves, but others as well. In this light, the existence of evil can be seen as a byproduct of our free will, rather than a direct result of God's actions. Secondly, the Bible acknowledges that suffering can have a purpose. In Romans 8:28 we read that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. This doesn't mean that God causes suffering, but rather that he can bring about good from even the darkest situations. It's essential to remember that God often works in ways we cannot immediately comprehend. This assurance can be comforting during challenging times, reminding us that our struggles are not without meaning. We also find that suffering can lead to growth. James chapter 1 verses 2-4 tell us to consider it pure joy when we face trials, because the testing of our faith develops perseverance. Through our struggles we can learn resilience, compassion, and deeper dependence on God. When we look back at difficult times in our lives, many of us can attest to how those experiences shaped us, strengthened our character, and drew us closer to God. Moreover, we must acknowledge that God's ways are higher than ours. In Isaiah 55, verses 8-9, God declares that his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. There are times when we may not understand why certain things happen, but we can trust in God's character and his ultimate plan. This trust does not come easily. It often requires prayer, reflection, and sometimes a community of believers to walk alongside us in faith. Finally, as Christians, we are reminded that God himself entered into our suffering through Jesus Christ. Jesus experienced pain, rejection, and loss. He wept at the tomb of Lazarus and felt the weight of the world's sin upon him as he hung on the cross. Through his sacrifice, he offers us hope and redemption, showing that he understands our suffering deeply and intimately. In conclusion, while the problem of evil is complex and often deeply personal, it is essential to remember that God is with us in our suffering. He offers comfort, hope, and purpose even in the darkest times. We may not have all the answers, but we can hold on to our faith and trust that God is working in ways that we may not yet see. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of a challenging topic. If you found this discussion helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us reach more people with these important conversations. Until next time, may you find peace and strength in your faith, knowing that you are not alone in your struggles.